What's up, traders? My name's Chris Hunter and this is Hunter FX. You might have heard it already before. Trading is 20% analysis and 80% psychology. I firmly believe that you already know enough information, you just lack the proper mindset. This video is going to teach you how to trade like a casino. Let's get it started. Every Friday, guys, I'm going to be giving away $25 to one lucky subscriber. In order to be eligible, you're going to have to like the video, you're going to have to subscribe to the channel, and you're going to have to comment something meaningful to the video in the comment section below within the first day of me posting the video. So you're going to have to make sure that you have that subscribe bell notification turned on. And then I'm going to be drawing the winner randomly on the Sunday posted video. So you've probably been trading for a while now and you know the core principles. Maybe you've learned a few strategies and you've tried them out for yourself. Maybe somebody's taught you some strategies that they say have proven to be working, right? And then when you go and you try them for yourself, they don't seem to be working. So these guys, they must be lying to you, right? Wrong. These strategies most certainly could be working out for them. They just have better control over their emotions, or they have a better mindset. Believe it or not, overcoming your emotions is one of the most difficult parts of trading. My aim is to get you closer to more self-awareness and self-control. Let me just cut out here quickly and say that if you're a newer trader and you don't really know any strategies, this video is not going to be right for you at this time. So I would suggest, still like the video, whatever, be part of the draw. But you can watch this video now if you want to learn for it later, but you're really going to need to learn the basics before you can continue. This video is going to be better for you in the future. There are two major points that I want to address in this video, so make sure that you watch both of them because you might have seen one point before somewhere else and not the other. And the first point I want to talk about is what you would specifically do if you go to a casino. So if you go to a casino, for example, and you go and play the slots machine, right? We need to decide which slot machine we want to go on, right? So there's the $1 one, there's the $10 one, there's the penny one, or whatever. Let's say we choose the $1 one because that's what we want to risk. The key point here that I'm making is that when you go to the slot machine, you have to first allocate how much risk you're going to bet for every time you spin the slot machine. So you can't even pull the lever until you've put in that $1. So you know that worst case scenario, you lose $1. And best case scenario, you win whatever the slot machine gives out. But that's not necessarily as important as what I'm mentioning, the risk portion. On the other side of things, when we look at trading, it's very easy to enter a trade without allocating your risk. And the problem here is that traders, they go into it without expecting to lose. They haven't predefined the risk and they're not willing to actually accept what their loss is going to be. Ultimately, this means the trader has unlimited potential to either gain or lose, right? So you could literally lose everything you own in one trade, well, everything in the account at least, if you don't define your risk. And that's so often the trap that we get stuck into. We enter a trade thinking and knowing it's going to win, right? Because we haven't pre-allocated what we're willing to lose. And then when it starts to go against us a few pips, we just keep hoping, it's going to come back to that same spot. And then we can just exit for a break-even trade. And ultimately, it's just going to keep going and going and going until the pain of loss is so strong or our account gets liquidated that we have to liquidate. Ultimately, this makes it very difficult for the trader to choose from the three options that we have. We can either place an order, we can liquidate our order, or we can hold our order. So you really have three options at any given time. It makes it much more complicated than playing the slot machine. There's basically three things that can happen when you don't predefine your profit and you don't predefine your loss. And the first one is that the trade actually goes in your favor, and then the greed kicks in and you keep saying, oh, just a little bit more, I just want a little bit more, right? When obviously you're seeing points where you could be taking profit or partial profit And then it'll start coming back the other way, and you're going to say, okay, well, it has been going in my direction so far, so I'll just wait a little longer. It should keep going, right? And then it comes back all the way back to your entry, or close to your entry, and then out of fear, you exit the position as to not lose any money. The other thing that could happen is that it goes in your direction, and then again the fear emotion kicks in because you've seen that it's going to come back in your direction. So you're fearful that you should take your profits too early at this point, right? And then ultimately it goes way in your favor this time. And then next time you might say, okay, I'm just going to hold it longer next time. And you keep flipping and flopping back and forth between these two fear and greed emotions when it goes in your favor, right? The other way is, like I said before, is that it goes negatively for you. And this is only going to be a fear emotion, right? And you're just going to be fearful that you don't want to lose more, and you're just trying to get out of the trade at this point, and you're not willing to accept a loss. So my first point here is, in order to play like a slot machine would play, or you are playing with the slot machine, I suppose, is that we need to predefine what we're going to risk. In my case, I like to risk 2% of my total account, and I have a formula that's very easy to follow so that you can type this in and you can know exactly how much to bet each time. And if you click the link in the description for the Discord group, there's a nice handy formula inside that group that you can follow. And then the next step is we need to predefine our profit taking. Now this one's a little bit more tricky, and it's going to depend on where the charts are lining up and everything for you. Personally, I like to do only positions where I'm going to make 3 times as much as a final profit target, and I'll be taking profit along the way. So if I took 50% of my position off at halfway point of my final profit, then it would still be a 1.5 times my risk, if that makes sense. And this way we know that in any case, when we win, when we actually do take profit, that 1.5 and that 3 times, it's always going to be bigger than that 1 negative, right? So obviously just predefining our risk is not enough. So this is going to bring me to my next point, and we're going to look at how the casino itself makes money and how it's able to operate so long. So the first thing they need to do is they need to make sure they have a ton of money, right? So that when they do lose, and let's say they're losing 0.1% of their total capital per major loss or something like this, right? Then they know that they're going to need a lot of losses in a row in order to become bankrupt. And then they're going to need a slight edge on every single game. Obviously, we look at roulette for the example. It's very easy. I think there's 36 red and there's 36 black. And if you bet on red, you're going to get you're going to get double your money, and you're going to lose all of your money. So it's just one or the other, whether or not it lands on red. But they throw in those 2 green squares in order to have that slight edge. And I don't need to know the exact percentages here. You don't need to know the exact percentages, but they are quite small. And over a long period of time, they know that that edge is going to make them a lot of money, combined with the fact that they have so much capital and they're only risking a very small amount per bet or per trade, that they will ultimately make money in the long run. Each individual game for them, it could be a win or a loss, and this is how they look at it. They know they're going to have wins, they know they're going to have losses, but those losses are so minuscule that it's not going to bother them, and they're just going to keep playing, and they're going to rely on that proven edge. And this is the key, relying on a proven edge. You're going to think it's a little bit more complicated in the trading world just because you have so many other factors to determine. And I'm telling you that you're just thinking that it's this way, but it's really not once you actually find a method that is proven to work. So the first goal in becoming profitable is obviously finding this proven method. And then the second goal is to be able to become completely emotionless, similar to how a casino would run. and just relying on that edge, knowing that every single trade will lose or win, and it will never bother you. We need to make sure that once we've found this proven system, every single trade will be basically blindly entered once you see that setup. And you're going to put your stop in the same positions, and you're going to put your profit in the same positions, and you're going to take partial profit in the same positions every single time. And then ultimately, we're going to be risking a small amount. In our case, we can use a bit more than a casino, where I like to use 2%, right? And then that's going to make it very difficult for us to even go bankrupt, even if we get 10, 15 losses in a row. With a 2% risk, you're only going to lose something like 30% of your account if you lose 15 times in a row. But once you have these 2 steps set up, that's going to allow you to basically operate as a robot, as a casino, as a slot machine, and you should be able to profit long term. And I'm going to tell you right now that me just telling you this in this video is not going to be enough. So I am going to go through in more videos in the future in more details. So please make sure that you subscribe, and if you want to be part of that contest, leave a comment about what I was talking about in the description below. And then on Sunday, at some point in that video, I will draw a winner at random, and as long as they commented within the first day, I will send them money. Listen!